Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and luckily today I was able to get into the first wave of PTU invites for 2.2, and with that comes the very first iteration of the Khartu wall, or the Xian Scout, being hangar ready. And here she is. If you're going to tell me this isn't the most alien ship that we have in this game, at least to date, you would be wrong. Because look at this thing. I mean, this is one formation. This is probably the landing formation. And we know that this thing is going to be able to fly upright. We know this thing's going to be able to fly in various formations. And what we know is these wings here, if we want to call them that, I guess we can call them more like nacelles, we know they're going to spread out as the ship flies to control different movement techniques. So the way these things are already folded up, I think gives us a really, really good indicator of the way that they're going to act when you're actually flying. There's total mobility on them. It's almost like these engines are able to swing out, kind of follow my character here, with the wings being able to do different things. And we know that these two things are going to be able to stack upright. So you get an idea of the way these things are going to be able to actually move. On top of that, you've got all these articulated little designs. Look at that. You get kind of these dual wings tucked in here. And I guess I should let you guys know, I haven't pre-tested this ship before. This is really a true first look at this ship. And you've got cutout designs in here too, which I'm sure is going to help with stealth somehow, or maybe agility, or maybe just keeping the weight down. But it really does look alien, which is really awesome. And look at this cockpit. I mean, when you look at this thing, you can imagine using a track IR or an Oculus or a Vive or whatever you call that thing, or some form of VR. You know, it's going to be a really good experience. Now, I'm going to get in this cockpit in just a second, but it is kind of a narrow field of vision immediately up front. But looking at the way this is designed at the moment, I'm kind of excited about the fact that they got rid of that second seat, because the ship right now kind of makes sense as is. But if you were to add a second one of those bubbles for another passenger, or maybe made this bigger, it would look out of place. God, I don't even know where to look for maneuvering thrusters on this thing. Because as far as I can tell, well, these green lights may be maneuvering thrusters. Because they don't look like just standard lights. And then we've got the weapons. That's my biggest concern for this ship at the moment, is the weaponry. Because, to my knowledge, based on the update notes that we've gotten to this point, there's only one set of weapons. And you're looking at them right there. And they look to be, you know, maybe M4As, maybe size 3s, you know, the bearing lasers. The ship's supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be borderline racer fast. It's supposed to be crazy agile, but any way you cut it, anytime you only have two weapons, it's a concern. You know, for those of you that have flown the M50, you know pretty well that the M50 does a really good job of pestering people, but it's not really a threat. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's absolutely a threat, but it's not necessarily a dominating force in combat. Now, in conjunction with a lot of ships, this may be really cool. So, enough jibber jabber. Let's see if we can get in this thing. Hovering steps. Awesome. Okay. So the sounds are very alien. The look is very alien. The view is borderline Freelancer-esque. You've got, you know, the front of the ship blocking some of your view. You've got the, you know, these different bordering things kind of blocking some of your view. But it's not terrible, especially if you do have either that head tracking or that virtual reality. You can maybe then look around a little bit. But head on, with a very maneuverable ship, you should be able to keep something in your field of view there. There's not going to be much that should be able to outflank you or get into these bars if you're flying it appropriately. God, I wish track IR was working so I could do a full like turnaround and give you that. Oh, cool! Look at the stairs. Oh, look at that! They tuck in here somewhere. That's some kind of weird alien-looking landing gear. Guys, you know what? This ship is so freaking alien that I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm going to do a little bit more research on some of this, and hopefully we get some more notes so I can actually give you guys better analysis on this. But it's so unlike anything else that we have in game to this point that I can't really say that much. I mean, it's awesome, it is bizarre, it is really cool. It is just different. I'm a little concerned about the weaponry, but if the ship flies the way that they've described it to be able to fly, I think we're going to be in an okay situation. But any way you cut it, oh my god, the ship is awesome. So we're going to go ahead and just leave it at that. You know, we know that these things are going to be articulated, so as far as what other maneuvering thrusters we have, which may be these green things, it still is probably going to be very agile. I mean, here's the other concern I have outside of weaponry, is when we see complicated game mechanics, kind of like we have with the Cutlass, with the maneuverable, you know, point in any direction main thrusters, flight mechanics can be difficult, and I wonder if this is going to fall into that same category. I hope it's not, because this thing is very awesome. So if you have questions or want me to look at anything in particular, please let me know. I think we get a pretty good idea looking at this that there's no real interior to this ship. It's very much a combat or a scout, or they say exploration, but I don't see it looking at the ship. I think it's going to be a borderline racer, borderline combat, borderline scout. It's going to fill those types of fast assault type of roles. But yeah, I think that's really about it. So if you have questions or want me to look at something closer, please let me know, because I will. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I will be doing a detailed flight analysis of the Saber. Otherwise, as always, stay tuned for more content. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. At least in this flight formation, it's a little bit bulky. And I think that's one thing we need to worry about with this ship, is what the cross-sectional is going to look like when you're actually flying and getting shot at. Sorry to kind of be redundant and kind of stop and start the video, but I think this ship is going to be an interesting target to hit, and I think you're giving a lot of the front of the ship as a target. So, alright, well that'll be it. We'll wait until we actually get a little bit more information, but like I said, if you have questions or want to see something particular, let me know. I'll get some video up soon. Otherwise, stay tuned for the Saber video tomorrow, and I'll do an overview of what's included in 2.2, hopefully tomorrow as well. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Have yourselves a good night, and take care.